Hello Freelancers, this is Right Way Gaming bringing you another Anthem video. Last one did quite well guys, so thank you very much for that. Today we'll be talking about the open demo and what we learned from it, as well as the experience that we thought while playing it. I'm going to break this down into a few different sections, those sections being gameplay, missions and customization. So let's begin. First up I'm going to talk about the gameplay. I thought I'd start off with this. To be honest, apart from the bugs and the glitches that there's been in the VIP demo and the open demo, I thought the game was pretty damn flawless, graphically and performance-wise, especially since they pretty much promised that there is going to be no loading screen issues, no crashes and all that lot upon the full game launch, so we don't need to worry about that. So taking that out of it, some people might disagree with this. If we just take all of those things away, the game to me was beautiful. It ran smooth. It was fun to play. It had everything to it you could possibly want within a game. Even the movement mechanics were just goddamn amazing. So, like I said, if we ignore the fact that it crashed and there was certain bugs and glitches, like the one that I experienced was you'd reload a weapon and before the gun was finished reloading, it'd fire a round off. And I thought it was pretty funny. It was like a misfire, but you know what? It's something that will get fixed. But again, it's funny and it didn't really affect me. Everything else, like I said, the feel of the movement, the action, the cutscenes, story, everything was just amazing to play through. Despite that we only got a little bit of a teaser from it, it was nothing. Focusing on the movement aspect, I really want to focus on that because I felt that was the most enjoyable part of playing this game. This demo was just learning the movement parts, like from flying through lakes, through waterfalls, coming out the other side of the waterfall, diving into a lake and then coming out of a waterfall, you know, in the opposite direction. All that just felt awesome. And then flying through caverns into caves and everything just looked and felt amazing while you're playing it. There was no jittering and stuff like that where you were flying. Flying weren't, as much as it was hard to start off with, after a few minutes you just literally got the hang of it and it was just awesome. You just flew and it was like it was natural to you. On top of that, you know, you've got advanced movements while you're flying that they didn't really, I don't think they expected people to pick up on. Like, you can fly and melee slam into the ground like if a lot of people compare this game to Destiny 2. Now everyone knows what a Striker Titan is Destiny 2. Well, you can do a slam as a javelin. Like, how awesome's that? You just fly, don't matter how high you are, you just fly, press your melee button and you go crashing down to the ground. Apart from interceptors, because I think they can actually melee mid-air, which is pretty awesome. So again, the gameplay mechanics to this game are just immense, and I can't fault them in any way whatsoever. The glitches and the bugs don't bug me one bit because everything else just overwhelms it, in my opinion. I could go on all day about the gameplay and the mechanics and the physics of the game, but I'm not going to do. I'm going to move on to the next part, and we're going to talk about missions. Well, I say missions, I meant missions/content that we could play within the demos. So, what did we have available? So, let's look at the first things first. You had 3 story missions that you had to get through, all relating to a character called Matthias, not too sure how you pronounce it, which we later found out was an endgame story based after the main storyline. So, it's not actually part of the main storyline, what we will play through for the full game. It's something that comes after that, when they're looking into the Anthem, etc. It's pretty interesting because obviously it didn't make much sense while we was playing it, but after we did complete all 3 of them, I kind of did get the opinion that Matthias was trying to use the Anthem like you do within Storm Javelin to manipulate certain things or create certain things in order to benefit the fort, Tarsis that is. So again, I could be wrong, but that is my opinion on what that was all about. But yeah, we'll see whether we're right or wrong eventually. Anyway, guys, just catching up to where I was up to here, guys. 2 seconds. Overall, the 3 story missions really drew me in, is basically what I wanted to say there. Next up, we had the Stronghold. Now, that was a pretty damn interesting story with the Stronghold. Obviously, where the Scar were getting this acid from, it ended up being a big giant spider that you had to kill, basically. That's me putting it down into basics. But that's not what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the story of the Stronghold. I want to talk about the goddamn pain that you can have inside a Stronghold. I only played it on hard difficulty. I never played it on anything easier. But I literally played it once, did it in half an hour. I played it again. It took us over 2 hours to clear it, which shows how if you don't have the right team dynamics and you're not all paying attention and helping each other out with your combos, how difficult the Strongholds are going to be. This was just on hard difficulty. Imagine Grandmaster 1, 2 and 3 and how immense that is going to be. Now, yeah, it might daunt some people into it, but you know what? What you're playing as a team, it's that sort of content you want. You want stuff that's going to challenge you, that you're not just going to breeze through, and then at the end of it, you're going to get all these great rewards that are going to be like, oh, well, it took me this to get this. You know, you want something to feel like you've achieved it and not that you've just had to walk in the park to go and get it. So that was the Stronghold, and that's what I think about the Strongholds. I think they're a great addition to this game, and I can see a lot of people spending a lot of time inside these Strongholds to grind for gear and certain possible blueprints. But that leads me on to the next part for this one. So it's not really a mission because it's free play. Now, inside free play, you have two things that you can do. You have public events and you have dungeons. Now, both basically give loot. Both take just as long as each other, but they're all interesting because they seem to change so consistently that the variables are just never ending. Like, I played the demo all weekend and I pretty much played all my time within free play because I did the Stronghold. I didn't feel I needed to do it again. And I'm not joking when I said that we'd played public event after public event after public event, and I don't think we got the same one twice. That says to me there's a lot of variant in the game. Not only that, but the dungeons. We went into the dungeon a few times all around the map. There's 3 of them, I think, in total, or 4. And even them, the missions inside there change. It's very, very, very different every time you play this game, in my opinion, guys. And not only that, but I spent that much time in free play that I actually learned that it's probably one of the best places to get your loot early on, because I spent an hour in the tops just grinding the public events and the dungeons, and I came out with over 30 drops from that hour. So that works out at what? Less than... I think it works out at 0.5 a drop a minute. So every 2 minutes you're guaranteed to get a drop is basically what I'm saying, which seems ridiculous, and I don't know how much higher the tier will go in terms of the drops. Are we getting blue drops? Will you be able to get purple, masterwork or legendary from free play? That is yet to be seen. I don't think you will, but you know, we're going to find out one way or another. There's a lot more I could talk about in terms of the free play, but there isn't. The only thing I will mention is the fact that on the late Sunday afternoon, we got to see the potential Shaper Storm / Cataclysm. They haven't confirmed which it was and whether they're both the same thing, but they did start one. It basically caused this big, giant, orange, swirling cloud to come up in the sky, and nobody knew what it did at first. But after a while, we realised that these lesser Ash Titans on the floor were spawning as ancient Ash Titans that were like 3 times the size and were absolutely ridiculously powerful. To solo one, you'll be looking at a good 15-20 minutes to kill. If it didn't kill you, because if it kills you and you have to respawn, then its health regains and it becomes a giant pain in the butt. I did manage to kill one. I'll try and put the clip in the video for you guys, but if I don't manage to do that, then check the link in this video because that will take you straight to it, and I've got a full video on killing it there, and well, exactly what it does basically. Bit of a heads up for when the full game comes out on how to kill them. Other than that, there's not really much else I can really talk to you about in terms of the missions, because, well, that's all we know from what they played in the demo. That is it. So I'm going to end that there, and we will talk about the next subject, being my favourite one, customization. Now, some people might say it's not really worth covering, but in my opinion it is, because to a lot of players this will be the most important part, because it's what, as a player, kind of bonds you to your character. If you can't customize it, you don't really create that bond with it because it's not really anything to do with you. Whereas by having these customizations options, it's all about you as a person. It brings out your personality. It shows who you are, that sort of thing. You know, people might think that's a load of rubbish, but no. Everybody, even in Destiny, they put their armor on and the colors that they want to, the shaders that they want to put on that will represent their personality. Because, well, that's what customization is. It's you choosing your favorite colors, your favorite looking armor. Now, one person might think that yours looks ugly, but to you it's beautiful, and vice versa. You might think theirs is ugly, but yours is beautiful. So, let me get into it. This game has the most in-depth customization options I've ever seen in any game. Now, sure, you can't customize your actual character himself in terms of how he looks, but your javelin, it's never ending. Like, it just does not end with how much customization a javelin has. It is ridiculous. So you have 4 javelins. Yeah, again, doesn't seem like much, but let's talk about what you can do to each of those 4 javelins. Each one of them is a unique armor, and it has hundreds of different material types from what we can see in the customization video that Anthem covered. And on top of that, each of those material types have a spectrum wheel of colours to choose from. There's not just set colours. You can have any colour that you can create on that armour piece. And on top of that, each individual layer, let's say, to the javelin can be a different colour, from metal colours to actual solid colours. So that alone gives you these variety of customization options, but it doesn't end there. We can then go on to the vinyls, where it'll bring in certain things from other BioWare games and EA games, like the N7 suit colour armour with the N7 logo. You can apply that to your javelin once you've got that unlock of that vinyl. And again, that adds just a little bit more customization because, well, if your favourite game is Mass Effect, you can make your javelin about Mass Effect. It's that simple. And it doesn't end there, guys. From there, you have the worn state. Is it a brand new javelin? Has it been in battle? Is it had a few scratches? Have you fell over in it a few times? You know, you could change the worn state so it's not looking like a brand new javelin all the time, which again to me means you can personalise it even more. Has your javelin been through the wars for months on end? You've never stopped playing Anthem since it came out, you know. Make it look old and battle worn. Why not? And final but not least, we know that there's not just one armour set for each javelin. There is going to be a choice of different armour pieces that will change the actual look of the javelin. And I think there's at least 4 sets of different armour for each javelin that we know of. Obviously, one of them will be for the pre-order of Legion of Dawn edition. So if you don't get that, then there is a set that you will miss out on. But I'll be pre-ordering that. I know I will, because the armour looks absolutely amazing. So if you haven't seen that, go and check it out. Overall, the possibilities to the customization in this game are literally endless. I know I've said it, but I just can't state that enough, guys. If you like spending time creating a character that shows a lot about who you are, this game will give you that option, guys. There's a lot of people already recreating certain heroes in the Forge, such as Iron Man and the Hulk, you know. It's literally, that's how far you can go. If you can think it, more often than not, you can make it with your javelin, guys. So, I think it's time that I wrap things up. I've covered the 3 subjects I wanted to talk about. I think I've covered a hell of a lot from what we've learned from the demo. I mean, this video is getting into 15 minutes long about just the demo. I mean, I've not even gone into the changes, what's going to happen with the full game, guys. So, I think there's a lot to be excited about with the full game when it does come out on the 15th of Feb for Origin Access Premier users and the 22nd for everyone else. If you're thinking of buying this, I hope this video has convinced you to go out and buy it, because I don't think you'll be unhappy. If you enjoyed the demo, you will definitely enjoy the full game. If you enjoy sci-fi games, you'll enjoy this game. If you enjoy team play and team-based games, you will enjoy this game. And if you're a solo player, you'll still enjoy this game, because they've said already that you can do everything alone if you put the effort in. But I'm going to literally round it up there, guys, because that is all I can cover on this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and as always, don't forget to subscribe and show your support and hit that thumbs up button, guys. I'll appreciate it. I'll catch you next time.